Chrissy here. Can you introduce yourself to our site visitors?
Hey, I'm Eric from Stone Temple Pilots.
Great. Well, we are here at the House of Blues in Atlantic City, and we were just discussing a little bit about just how awesome this first rung of tour dates has been going for you guys. What can you share with me about what it's like looking out and seeing all those people and what the reception's been like?
The reception is kind of going back to what it was around '93. I mean, just the energy of the crowd and the fact that they're all sticking around for the encores, singing along as loud as possible. It's been an incredible reception so far, the last couple of shows.
That's great. I mean, what's it like kind of to see that resurgence again, like from your perspective? It's great. I love seeing that excitement for music again, just in general.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because, we had to go through some personnel changes. That was a pretty tough decision, something that had to be done in our point of view. But there's a bit of apprehension, of course, when you think, how is it going to be accepted from the public? But from what we've been seeing so far, it's undeniable. It's just fantastic. And when you watch the show tonight, you're just going to say, wow, this is really, really, really fantastic.
Absolutely. I think that people now, too, are so much more open to these types of collaborations and new incantations and stuff like that from bands, at least, more so than maybe they were like 15 years ago.
Yeah, it's something that's not done very often with changing a lead singer. But with Chester, he's been such a fan of the band from when he was a teenager. And actually, it's on his Wikipedia page that he actually dreamed one day of singing in SDP. So it's what seems weird to me is how easily it fit and how quickly he became part of the family and how much we become friends and brothers, and how we communicate on stage and writing new material. It's just absolutely seamless. It's been really a great experience so far.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, I read, I was reading up that just the chemistry between you guys was phenomenal, like right out of the gate, and that's awesome. So, like, creatively, can you take me in the studio and tell me, maybe one or two tracks in particular for the EP and what the mindset was like?
Yeah, well, the first one you probably heard is Out of Time. So when we did that one, we knew we had to come up with the song because we're doing a surprise show for K-Rock in Los Angeles.
Everybody was shocked.
Yeah, but then we also wanted to back it up. Instead of just doing a show, we wanted to back it up with some new music. So At a Time was written very quickly. Robert had the riff on bass, and it's just one of those things we just all worked probably within a day, had the whole song together, just took a little time to get some lyrics. The recording of it was very fast, and then now last month or 2 months ago, we were finishing up an EP, so now there's 5 songs, so we added 4 more, and some are kind of dark and rock stompers, and a couple of more mid-tempos, and singing more about stuff from the heart, and it's just going to be nice variety for such an extended play being 5 songs. It's going to be it's a nice variety, but it doesn't stretch out too far, so I'm sure by next year we can easily pull out a whole album or double album by that point, because it's depending on his schedule, because Chester's quite busy with Linkin Park, and they're working on a record now. So there was days when he'd be singing on new Linkin Park material and then show up and have to sing on our stuff. But you know what? It's ready to go.
I'm sure creatively it's like a different outlet, too. It's like almost 2 sides per song. I'll let this side out for a little while and then bring the other side out. And, I'm sure it could be both ways.
And I know Linkin Park, how well they work together. So it's the stress. When you're making music, the stress usually comes internally. It's your own challenges and your own walls that you're trying to accomplish, because you want to always be better than whatever the last thing you did. So, but it's not, the pressure's not coming from anyone else in the band saying you have to do better. It's always internally. So for him to go from, like I said, Linkin Park by day, and then to come sing with SDP at night on the recordings, he held up really well. He didn't show the stress that I'm sure that was deeply behind his eyes.
So on a personal level for you, with musically, what continues to challenge you these days?
To continue to make great music. I mean, it's music and songwriting and being with the band, there's always a chemistry that happens, and trying to continue that chemistry, trying to make stuff still sound interesting, and you can't rest on your laurels. You can't say we've already done something, and let's just jump on that bandwagon again and kind of write around the same type of chords and redo a song that's been done in our catalog. We always have to try to make it new, but at the same time you have to say, where is STP? What is the band? So there's times when you just really want to venture out and be artistic, but then it can sound a little weird. So sometimes those songs don't necessarily make it on the record, and they could end up on B-sides. But now with the internet, I think a lot of that stuff is leaked out, especially.
I was gonna say, is it hidden anymore?
Yeah, no, not anymore.
I don't know if Shell even exists anymore.
You know, we've had some bossa nova tunes and some really avant-garde stuff that we've recorded in studios over the last 20 years, and I think it's all now ends up on the internet somehow. Yeah, you just go, how? Who had copies? There's only 10 of us that had copies.
You never know. So, speaking of the internet and the uprise of social media and all of that, how are you guys using that or embracing that as a tool, for artist promotion? I'm sure you've witnessed this uprise of the way that people are learning about new music.
And it's fantastic, and it's nice that everything is changing. Some people enjoy it, some people still dread it. If I was a major record company, I'd be dreading it because it doesn't lean towards their advantage. In our situation now, we're free agents. We were with Atlantic Records for 20 years, so now we've partnered with ADA for distribution. So now we can put out music digitally, our actual product, like via CD still, anytime we want, and in any way that we want. So the excitement is now, what new ways can we put out music by using social media, by using the internet, and by actually having a disc? There's ways to give out free discs at concerts. There's ways to give out free downloads to people now.
I hear Jack White was parachuting albums out of like a parachute and dropping them down. I mean, there's all kinds of creativity.
All kinds of crazy stuff. And once again, it was Prince, about 6 years ago, when everybody that came to concert got a free CD because he was still having his problems with Warner Brothers. And that was just great because everyone came in, they got to see Prince, but then they got to leave with the new record. So the nice thing is to put the music back in the artist's control, because record companies are fantastic and they're still needed, but the game is changing so much now that they're really going to have to start to be more creative on how they try to utilize themselves.
Absolutely. Is there anything that you guys are experimenting with?
Experimenting by going backwards. I was talking to the company ADA last night just about this new EP that we're putting out. It's got to be in vinyl, 180 grams, just because it's just so exciting to have product. I love the ease of digital downloading music, but the problem is it becomes a little bit more dispensable, where it's not sticking around as much. It's not sitting on your countertop where you keep looking at it.
It's not like as tangible to hold on to it. I miss album artwork and just people are doing creative things with even the vinyl itself and their collector's editions. It's really awesome.
Yeah, limited edition, limited runs. I still love it because since I grew up on albums, there's something about actually holding it, not just, it'd almost be like hearing books. Hearing books instead of reading books for kids. It's like there's just something about reading books and looking at the pictures and closing it. There's something that we're still going to miss, and hopefully we can find another way to get that, because otherwise I get sent so much music and some of it's great, but then you have to go back and find it, and where is it? Whereas if it was an actual disc or something, it would always be sitting on a table where all my favorite stuff would be, and I could pull it out more often.
Even mentioning what you said about books, I'm kind of afraid that our kids one day will not know what holding a paperback book is like, and it's terrifying.
It's terrifying, but the access that they'll have to some of the classics will be pretty incredible. Because I remember our libraries growing up as kids; they're pretty lackluster.
Yeah, that's true. So, on that note, too, what is it like for you when you're looking out and you see this? We used to see a sea of lighters, and now we see a sea of cell phones.
It's all changed. I mean, it starts from the very first song. Just it's nothing but phones up, and I'm guilty too. When I go see concerts, which I try to go to as often as I can, I'm still one of the people holding up the cell phone, and all I can do is look behind me like, we okay? Because you always want the higher spot, but it's pretty exciting that with the internet. I mean, after the show, our first show was in Bethlehem a couple days ago. I mean, an hour later, by the time I got on the bus, it was already being broadcast on there with reviews, and people were so excited. My friends were writing, saw the show, like, how, you're in California? They're like, they just started posting them right now. So In that sense, the immediacy of it all is really fantastic, and you know, all you can do is hope you don't do anything too stupid, because it's going to be up there really quick.
It leaves no room for error. So the target release date is going to be the first week of October for the EP?
October 8th, so it's a good week, you know. Just exciting. It's always exciting when you present something new. It's almost like bringing a child out. It's like, here it is. But everybody ooh and ah, and just looking forward to that. And then we're heading out to Japan a couple weeks after that, doing some festivals over there, and then back to do some more tour in the States, and then off to Australia.
I say I saw Soundwave on there.
Yeah, can you believe that bill? I mean, can
you put us in your pocket?
Yeah, because last year Linkin Park was on there too with Metallica, and that bill was great. But now with Green Day and Megadeth and Alice in Chains and everyone else on there, I'm so excited. And I have some really good friends out in Australia too, so I'm looking forward to finishing the tour and doing some camping out there at the end of it.
Oh, this should be really exciting. What do you enjoy doing in your downtime?
I have little kids, so it's always kind of based around that, trying to get them interested in all things in the world, and and try not to watch too many cartoons.
Are they picking up anything with drumming?
Yes, they're very. They drum, and it's one of the earliest tunes they learned was AC/DC, actually, and they could both sing.
That's a good one.
They could both sing TNT, and it's always exciting when adults walk by and they see your kid singing an AC/DC song at 3 years old. They're like, all right.
Exactly. Rock on. Well, I want to thank you so much for taking a few minutes to speak with me. We're super excited for this EP to come out, and we're definitely excited for the show tonight. So thank you so much.
You're very welcome, and yeah, October 8th, on its way.